The word that comes to mind, which I've only heard two people that have raised me say, um, to say enough, ke kgontse. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Um, and that being the matriarchs, specifically my grandmother and my mother. Those are the only two people that I've ever heard say "honzi" in several situations. And this would be, you know, these women having come to a point where they've emptied themselves so much in doing whatever is it that they were doing, then they say, "honzi, I'm enough," you
mm,
know. Um, Compare that to the male figures that raised me, my grandfather, my father. Not even once had I heard them say we are enough, Wanele, in any way. And these are men who, in their consciousness, in their whole being, were unrelenting and providing, keeping a roof over our heads, you know, beyond their own limitations to the point of breaking their own backs, even, know. So that's the environment that I grew up in, and how there are different registers of enough Khonzi. You know what I mean? So quite peculiar that it'll be the female figures that gave language to enough and not the male figures. And of course, as a boy child, and a middle child, the male figures are exemplary to you.
mm.
They are the immediate examples, the footsteps that you follow is on theirs. So it goes a long way in what becomes my own pathway relating to the idea of enough. I mean, like in my life, in several situations, um, the line has moved. You find yourself in very uncaring and competitive environments, especially professional environments. Um, and you try to appease those environments, going back to how the very same male figures that I told you about approached enough, you know, it bleeds on you. That kind of approach to enoughness in these kind of environments, and you don't really know where the line is because in your mind, again, in my mind, you know, um, there are certain things that I should be able to perform as per the norms of this life as a man, as a father, as a husband, and how I achieve those with regards to anything that I'm doing professionally, So the line will keep on moving despite, the unhealthiness of those environments that I find myself in, trying to keep a roof over heads, keep
Mm.
everything intact where the household is concerned, you know what I mean? But that's not to say that there isn't any reflections as to what my approach is as opposed to my predecessors, that being, say, my granddad or my father. So yeah, that's where the line has typically moved with regards to enoughness. You will not buckle. How much can you
Mm,
push this,
mm,
for the sake of keeping things intact? Um, I'm fortunate enough to be having a daughter, be having a wife that constantly remind me of my pure essence, outside
mm,
of the socialization um, side of things where I'm concerned. Um, People that actually act as a mirror and people that I should be pouring into as well. I speak of my daughter in the sense that there's no way in this life that she can learn that very unhealthy version of enoughness from me. It becomes a refusal where she's concerned. You know, so the same would apply to the union that I'm in with my wife. That becomes a mirror as well. Because I don't exist in isolation. That pours into me and lets one know that there is a thing as enoughness.
mm,
You can stop actually
mm.
pouring all of yours for the sake of, say, achievement, as you put it, you know. You can cease to destabilize yourself because in this environment, you are needed in your healthy version.
Mm.
So those are the things that actually become the cornerstone of the reflection on enoughness where I'm concerned, and constant reminders that there are better versions of self, and it's okay to say enough. I will
And
not bleed anymore. Like, the body becomes evidence of that.
mm,
Um, More than anything, you know, in this world that we're living in, we rely on the head, but our bodies tell a story. So I've come to a place where I'm able to listen to my body, and it's saying it is enough in a moment, you need not sprint where you can walk. you know you need not move even where you want to be still.
mm,
So I've started listening to my body more than anything, in situations that would ask more of me than it's required, and listening to my intuition. So I've come to learn that, listening to my body, listening to my intuition, because it will tell you that you are treading some unhealthy terrains right now. you
mm.
know,
And
and yeah,
yeah. So sorry. Please go.
and it's okay to say I'm enough. I need to rest. I need to spend a little bit more time thinking about that instead of, okay, I'll run to it now in 2 minutes, or the quick turnaround that's become accepted in this world that we live in right now. That time is mine to control. You know,
Mm.
that is the achievement more than anything, where I'm concerned, as one learns to say enough. I think there's a certain kind of bravery um, of going inwards and being able to revisit that little boy that lives inside of you, that little boy that got to learn certain mores of what being, say, a male figure is in life more than anything. That little boy needs reassurance, needs a hug, um, a reconfiguration. So that bravery of going inwardly, authentically, becomes non-negotiable in how we move as men. Um, you say counterparts, yes, as men. So the inward going becomes non-negotiable if ever we are to recalibrate who we are and what we put out into the world. So that's my take on it. You know, a lot of us have actually fortified that little boy inside of us and left in some dark room, and he cannot be visited at all. That becomes the death of us, actually. You know, that becomes the death of us, that becomes the death of society uh, as men, because that boy needs to be let out and be reassured and ensure that other boys, you know, um, are taken through the same gentle task as well. And I think we become in a position to actually view the world differently, in a much more healthier world, a much more healthier household, much more healthier environments. You know, so that's my take. Breath has made it so much more easier for me. This is conscious breath, you know, the in and the out. To actually go inwardly and be in stewardship of time, you know. More than anything, we walk this earth without being conscious of our breath. But one thing that has helped me, in moments, especially where I need to be consciously sensing this breath as I undertake it, that has helped me quite a lot, in recalibrating the inner, being present more than anything. You know, one has been foraying into Tai Chi, not as much as I would want to, but that's still a journey
Did you
in
say
by itself.
picky?
Tai Chi,
Mm.
indeed. So, and it in itself is tethered to breath and mindfulness. You know, that's where you know that you can anchor yourself in a moment, you know, and truly listen to yourself. Um, what is the body saying? What is the conscious breath revealing to you in a moment? And it'll never lead you astray because it's in service of you, uh, as an individual.
I think that is a beautiful place to leave this conversation. Thank you.
Thank you. Much appreciated to you.